Yeah, no, it's just, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just Asian. It's just the Asian culture, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in that shit. I grew up in the 80s, you know, in my country, man. So it's like the Asian, when I first came to America, it was a total culture shock when I learned all the shit, right? Look. All right, look. Check this out, man. All right, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this anymore, right? And I wish. Okay, I'm opening up to you guys, okay, right now, okay. And I hope it doesn't offend you, right? But this happened in 19. Okay. This happened in the 5th grade. Okay, I was in the fucking 5th grade. It was 1993. Okay, 1994. 94. I was already moved. So 93. This is 1993. Okay. 1993. Here in the U.S., we had just moved. I moved here in 1991. Okay. I moved here in 1991. I had to repeat 3rd grade. Okay, this incident that I'm about to tell you happened in the 5th grade. Okay, I'm opening up to you, and I own up to this. Okay, I own up to this. I hope you guys are not offended. I hope you guys still like me. But I totally understand if you guys get offended. But again, okay, I gotta repeat this. Okay, this happened goddamn near 30 years ago now. Okay, almost 30 years ago now, and I've owned up to it. I've already owned up to it, and you know, of course, my way of thinking has changed. Okay, but in 1993, in 5th grade, okay, I'll never. This is why this is monumental for me. I'll never forget this day. Okay, 5th grade, we were in science class. All right. Miss Penning was the teacher. I remember this like it was fucking yesterday. Miss Penning assigned us a group project, right? An in-class group project to do, right? To accomplish. So our task was to find a partner, right? Find a partner to work with, and so I was like shy. I wasn't like really like talkative like that, right? I wasn't putting the effort to looking for a partner. Everyone already found a partner except me, right? And then at the end of it all, I was forcefully partnered up with this girl. Her name was Ebony. Now Ebony was an African American girl, right? African American girl. We were partnered up, and so everyone started doing their projects in class, working together, right? And I'm working to get the project done. However, Ebony, for some reason, decided to not work with me, and like she was like in the corner, just like bullshitting, right? Just talking to her friends, and I'm over here doing all the work. Now the pressure starts to build as people accomplish their work, right? Except me. People are like, we're done, right? And so the pressure's on me now. I can't finish this without her. So frustration built, right? And then in the background, I can just hear Ebony like yapping, right? And eventually, I got so frustrated, right, that we weren't done. I think we were like the last one to finish, right? We weren't finished. I got frustrated. And, okay, I kid you not. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I stood up and I'm embarrassed to say this now, even as a fucking 39-year-old, okay? But I stood up and I said, man, black people are stupid. That's what I said, alright? In 5th grade. The whole class went silent. The whole fucking class went dead silent. Miss Penning grabbed me by the fucking arm and tossed me out of class and told me to go to the principal's office. And I was like crying my eyes out. I couldn't understand what was happening, right? That day, I learned what prejudice meant, right? And I learned what prejudice meant, and I learned what racism was, okay? It was like such an impact to my life that you know, I'll never forget. So as soon as I said that, right? So check this out, right? As soon as I stood up and I said that, I'll never forget this too. Okay, Ebony was like, why don't you go back to your country then, right? And so like, it was like kind of like I'm like even what she said to me was not offensive to me, and like I didn't take offense to anything that she said. And at that point in time, when I stood up and said what I said, I didn't think it was offensive either, right? But that day, I got a lecture from Miss Penning and the principal, and they taught me what prejudice was and racism was, right? And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that shit. And again, look, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if you guys, like, right now my body's like getting hot because I'm like kind of embarrassed. But this is just me, just opening up to you guys. I've like, you know what I'm saying? I've since that day, I've changed my perspective, of course, right? And I'm all about it, and equality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not racist. I enjoy everyone's company. I don't judge anybody by their color or the skin. I don't do that. Okay, so yeah, no, I mean, if you can feel my fucking heart rate right now is like kind of sped up, and like I'm kind of getting, my palms are kind of getting sweaty because this is really like the first time that I spoke about it in a public speaking manner, right? Because look, I mean, there's 30 guys in the chat. I've never ever mentioned this. I mean, I've mentioned this to close friends, right? But I've never mentioned it in any medium at all, like ever. I've never mentioned it. It's always been in the back of my head. I'll never forget it. It was a learning experience, and it was a positive learning experience for me. Even though at that time when I uttered those words, it was like, incredibly wrong, right? It was like, but I learned from it. Never again. I've never judged anyone ever since, like, based on color, right? I've never done that ever again after that. So, but yeah, it was at that time. What I'm trying to say to you is that the way Asian cultures develop minds is different from American culture. This is just going back to what I was saying to Black Alert, right? The way Asian cultures, the way their minds are developed, is not the same way as American culture. It's just not. It's. I'm glad that I basically grew up here and I learned what I have to learn, right? But had I not, if I did not grow up here and I grew up back home, it's like those kinds of things are never in our peripheral, right? They're never instilled in our heads that that those are, what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. It's the culture. There's nothing I can do about it. What the culture teaches you is what you learn, right? I would argue that I learned that at one point, 5th grade, general statement about trying to go rather than beefing and just, okay. Yeah, I'll do this very far. Yeah, Dark Nova, I was totally oblivious from it. I had no idea. Yeah, no, the Centaur, it's the first time I've ever, in any medium at all, this is the first time I've ever spoken about it. Yeah, no, main scrub, man, as you see, no, you know what, man? Yeah, so you know what's funny is that I've searched for Ebony for so fucking long. I cannot find her, yo. I've searched for Ebony on social media. I even know her name. Well, her name is very common. It's Ebony Brown, right? But I know her face. I'll never forget her face. If I can just find her on any social media, I will reach out to her. Like, no hesitation at all. I will reach out to her.
Round 3. Ready? Go.
Like Paulie Bean, yeah. No, definitely, yeah, Shy Fighter, definitely, that's, trust me, man, immediately after that incident, I changed my ways, immediately. Like, once I learned what those words meant, it stuck to me forever.
Knockout.
Please, bro, everyone has the thing, they wish they didn't say it during the first round. How people through the
Round 4. Ready, go!
Thank you, Dark Gnome. I appreciate you, man. It takes intentional and teachable spirit. Yep. That's true, Frozes. That's true about today. Yep. Vehicles are going to elements of people like this. I totally get it. I believe people can change. Yeah, you got it. Mind on me. Okay, you got a point there, Black Alert. That man, he's still younger than you. Yeah. The catharsis apologies, I'm sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I totally did. I for sure, like, immediately, that day, immediately. And, you know, to even expand on the culture thing, when the principal called my mom, to tell my mom what I did, my mom was on the fucking phone and she's like, so what did he do? You see what I'm saying? It's like she doesn't, even he, like alright, my mom is like, now she's like almost 80, right? So this was 30 years ago. She was in her 50s. Okay, she was in her 50s when we moved to America. It was just me, my brother, my eldest brother, and I, right? And so when my principal called my mom and explained to her what happened, she was like, "So what did he do?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she couldn't understand. And when she got off the phone, she still couldn't understand. And I'm like scared for my fucking life. She's gonna beat the shit out of me, right? But she couldn't understand why I was in trouble. But eventually, we talked about it again. And then that we cleared it up, right? We cleared it up, and then that we both knew, we both understood why it was wrong to do that. And then thank goodness that like there was no severe punishment, because you know what I'm saying, my parents back then when they would punish me, I would like come out with a fucking one leg and shit. But after we talked about it, we understood, right? So we had a mutual understanding of what happened, and that my mom said that, you know, my mom ever since then would always encourage me to like to accept everyone, right, for who they are. And so
Ready, go!
blah blah blah. It's all blah. Main scrub man, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was an introduction. Yep, entire space. 5th grade game, but again, you were basically the same. Yep. Good on us if you can be as honest as you are. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Sven, you got it. I agree with you there. But yeah, no, this shit got me kind of. It's like you know when you're nervous and you're talking about a topic that you're not 100% comfortable with, and then your body starts to get hot. That's how I'm feeling right now. But you know, your words have calmed me down, so I feel okay now. But like when I was talking about it, as I was talking about it, I'm like stuttering, like, you know what I'm saying. I typically don't stutter unless I'm nervous or if I'm like. You know, if I'm not fully comfortable with trying to explain something, I usually start to stutter. But yeah, no, thanks, guys. Thanks for understanding this whole situation. But you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, I'll never forget for the rest of my life, man.